Happy Sunday, everyone. Just giving it a second for someone to pop on. Gonna get the wheel ready for the prize drawing. Okay. Hi, Landa. Do you ever find it weird when either you're watching a live or you're doing it? I'm having to train my brain to really focus on that dot, because that's actually the camera. But so often we find ourselves looking at our own face, which is why we look like we're looking away. Hi, Marianne. It's just weird to look at a little bitty dot so that I'm actually looking at you guys instead of looking at myself. It's just weird to look at a dot when you want to look at your face. Because I don't know about you, but if something is hanging out of my nose or hanging off of my mouth, I would hope y'all would say something. And I guess that's why we look at ourselves. I'm like, now, if I look at myself, then I see just all the little white hairs that are popping up that seem to grow more lately for whatever reason. So, but thank you guys for joining me this afternoon. We will get right into it. So whoever jumps on, make sure you like, you comment, you share. If you share the video, you actually get entered twice, so you increase your chances of winning the projects that I do every single week. So the delay bothers me. Yeah, sometimes it's just like, and it's just like an uncomfortable little pause there where you're like, okay, what just happened? But hopefully my do not disturb is on. I'm on airplane mode. I got my power plugged in. I hope the audio's fine. I know lately on some other videos the audio seems to be kind of crazy, and I don't know if that's a Facebook thing or just a device thing. Who knows? So, but thank you again for joining me. Hi, Denise. Glad you could join us. If you have not joined me on a Sunday afternoon, hey, Stella. Merry Christmas. I have my fireplace going on the TV because we don't have a fireplace here in the house. It's the next best thing. But I have it on mute because it plays Christmas music. And I don't know about Christmas music playing in the background. So, but thank you guys for joining me. If you've not ever joined me on a Sunday afternoon, my name is Barbara Ragsdale. And I am a Stampin' Up! Independent demonstrator that lives in the San Antonio, Texas area. So if you are ever in this neck of the woods and you would like to join me for an event or a class, there are events that are offered online, but if you are just itching to get out and still be able to craft your little heart out with some social distancing and some safety measures in place, you are always welcome. I have open crops at the beginning of the month. When I point my camera down, you'll see my website, and you can just visit my website, go to the events tab, and Leander. I'm not sure where Leander is, but tell us, give me an idea of where that's at. I don't know. I'm in Northeast San Antonio, so I'm off 1604 and close to 35 over there in this neck of the woods. So but there are always events going on, and in most cases almost all of the events are offered to go as well. So if you aren't able to attend a class but you still want to participate in the event or whatever class there is, I'm gonna have to turn my heater off. I turned it on because I was cold, but now I've warmed up. I forget what I was saying. Oh, the to-go classes. Just go check out the events and you'll be able to see if there's options for things to go. And there's also options to earn that class for free. So, and those details will always be in the event details, but I will show you something today that you can earn for free. But let's go ahead and get started. If you, let me back up just a little. If you're not familiar with Stampin' Up, we're a paper crafting company, and we cater to all levels of crafters. So any of your crafting needs, especially if you struggle with color coordination, we got you covered. We got you covered for color coordination. If you want things that are already semi put together as far as coordinating paper, designer series paper, ribbons, other accessories, we also have kits as well. Because it's a suburb north of Austin. Okay, well that's not too far. I did a one-day retreat in New Braunfels back in September, and then I did a weekend retreat in New Braunfels the following month. So we're sort of neighbors, Denise, sort of. Austin's only about 45-minute drive from where I'm at, so I can just jump on 35 and head north and be there almost in no time. So, but let's go ahead and get started. Let's give some prizes away. Get this moved up. There is my website, and while you're watching the video, if you want to take a look at my website and also take advantage of the monthly online ordering special, which I'll go over that in a minute, you can just scan in that QR code and that'll take you straight there and plug in that host code that you see there. So, but I'll share that in just a moment. In the meantime, let's go ahead and give away the prize for last week, which was, we made these 3 cards. We made a simple stamping card, we made a occasional stamper card, and then we made the avid stamper card. All of them are happy birthdays, so everybody always needs happy birthdays. And this particular set that we worked with is a set that comes out January 5th in the new catalog, which I thought I had my copy of the catalog right here. See. Yep, here it is. So this is the catalog that I'm referring to. I can't show you anything on the inside, but I can let you know that the 2 suites that I worked with for this particular one was the Fine Art Floral Suite, and then I mixed it with some of the Hydrangea Hill Haven, I think it's Haven, ribbon and little pearl embellishment. So I kind of combined a couple of sets on this one. So this is going to be something new, and the people that are on this wheel, I'm not sure how I got a blank one in there, so if I get that blank one I'll have to just respin the wheel. But anyone that liked, commented, and shared my video from last week got entered on the drawing. So for every comment you make and every like and little heart that you send my way, you're in there. And if you shared my video, your name is in there twice, and it has share by your name. So let's go ahead and spin the wheel. Give those cards away. Hi, Lisa. And who's the winner? Who's the winner? Let's see. Oh, Michelle, you almost got it, Michelle. But Bonnie Kelly, you are the winner of the cards from last week. And I'll have to go back and look to see if I have your mailing address, Bonnie. I think I do. And if I don't, I will reach out to you. But that's how you win, you guys. Bonnie shared my video, so she had an extra entry in there plus her comments. So it was her share that got her to win the cards. So let me put this aside. And then we will, Bonnie, if you're watching this, I think I have your email or your mailing address. But if I don't, I'll go back and look. If I don't, I'll reach out to you. And these cards right here, these are the monthly online ordering special cards. from the Dove of Hope bundle that is in the current mini catalog, and that's going to be retiring. So the Dove and the dies, those are all going bye-bye. On January 4th is when they'll officially be, is the last day that we can purchase this particular bundle. And if you order $25 or more directly from my website using this host code, or if you scan in that QR code, then you will get a free kit in order to make all 4 of these cards. The only thing that you have to do is the stamping. Everything will be die cut for you and cut as much as possible, as well as embossed. And I don't know if you can see that, but that particular piece of Whisper White cardstock is embossed, and then so is this one with the subtle embossing. Which, by the way, I think last week I mentioned about our Whisper White cardstock. Our Whisper White cardstock in the product line is while supplies last. Unfortunately, because of COVID, the company that put these away. The company that makes our Whisper White cardstock is going out of business. But Stampin' Up! Is coming out with another white, which they're naming it Basic White. But if you, but we don't know when it's coming out, by the way. So if you need to stock up on your Whisper White cardstock, maybe this would be the time to do it with an online ordering special, and at the same time be able to get a free kit to make some cards. All right, what's next? The weekend retreat in April. If you've ever been to our Texas Hill Country, you know it's gorgeous, and I have a weekend retreat with several different options. There's a live fee, a to-go, and then there's a third option where it's room and board only, which will get you there, but doesn't give you the goodie bag or the pillow gifts or any of the meals or anything like that. But it's certainly an opportunity to get away from either life, your family, go do something, whatever you want to do that weekend. There's an option for that particular getaway as well. So go to my events and check it out. All this information's on my website. And then I have, let's do this one next. Our Paper Pumpkin Kit. So if you're familiar with Paper Pumpkin, or even if you're not, it's our monthly subscription paper crafting service. And these kits are directly delivered to your door. And the one for January, which the deadline to sign up is January 10th, is Valentine. So typically each month the Paper Pumpkin box is going to be designed for whatever's the following month, just to give you a heads up. And on this particular one, there's going to be the kit itself, which includes enough supplies to create 8 cards and coordinating envelopes, but there's also going to be an add-on that's going to be available January 1st, which is going to include 20 printed mini boxes and 24 decorative die cuts and labels that coordinates with the kit. So that's a perfect little way if you have little ones that want to do a project for school or daycare and you need multiples. This would be the perfect little project to get them going and have their Valentines. And then the last thing I want to show you, and I'm actually going to show you the sampler, because tomorrow is the deadline. Let me move it up a little bit, and sorry about that glare. Let me see if I can take that away. I can't see from that side, but this is the winter sampler. Just gonna show it this way. Tomorrow's the deadline, and this is something that you can actually earn for free. If you place an order on my website that's $40 or more, you'll get the kit in order to make the sampler. It does not include the frame, but everything will be die cut and embossed for you, and it's using the Snowflake Splendor Suite. I tried to limit everything on here to be from the Snowflake Splendor Suite, because almost everything is going to be retiring from this particular suite. So this is your last opportunity to be able to make a beautiful sampler like this. Everything except for the stamp set and the dies is retiring. So the designer series paper, the embossing folder, that ribbon, everything. I think the balmy blue glitter, the glimmer paper is going to. So, but that's the actual sampler, and that class is actually set for New Year's Eve. So I have that on my calendar for New Year's Eve. Set that aside. And that is something that you can earn for free. And the class fee is actually $30, and you're going to be getting $25 in merchandise in order to complete your sampler. All right, well, let's do some cards. Now that we got all the little news and updates and things out of the way, let's do some cards. And what I'm going to be doing is, can't show you anything from the inside of this, but we're going to be doing a stamp set and some designer series paper that you can earn for free out of the Sale-a-Bration catalog. And if you're not familiar with Sale-a-Bration, in the month of January and February, beginning January 5th, there is a promotion so that for every $50 you spend in either the mini catalog or the annual catalog, whatever you spend, you get to earn items for free. And I'm actually going to show you a couple of those items. Now, the stamp set that we're going to be using is Heal Your Heart. I'm loving this font, you guys. I really am. And you always need thank you, greetings, and sentiments. But this one says, thank you, wishing I could heal your heart. I don't know what I would do without you. That's kind of a small print. Both of these two right here are small. This one says, sorry for your loss. I can't promise to always fix your problems, but I can promise you won't ever face them alone. And then this final one, which seems to be the what is it, the motto for 2020 is, we're in this together. That's so appropriate for basically it could be, that could mean anything really, you guys. But this is one of the stamp sets that you can earn for free during Sale-a-Bration. So we're going to be using that stamp set, and then we're also going to be using some designer series paper called Paper Blooms designer series paper. And I already have some of it open because I've been using it, but I'll show you the designer series paper. There is 6 designs, and there's going to be 2 sheets, 2 full 12 by 12 sheets. I've been using this, but this is just to give you an idea of the different papers that we have that's part of this particular pack. So now you have this side that has a design on it, and Stampin' Up! Paper always has, if you flip it over, you're always going to see the opposite design. Some of these sheets are not full because I've been using it, so I'm missing one. There we go. There we go. There's the opposite side to the other side that I showed you. Over here, you can see it. Lots of color coordination going on there. So that's the designer series paper that we're going to be using today. Plus, we're going to be using, the only ink pad we're using is Night and Navy. And I'm going to go ahead and open that up. And this is the first card that we'll be making. Let's do this, because I'm right-handed. So that can sit right there. And I've already cut everything, die cut. We're just going to be doing some assembling. So let me get all the little things I need to finish this. There we go. I think I got everything. So the colors that we're using on this particular card right here is Seaside Spray, and it's basically an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock that's been cut at 5.5. And then we're just going to fold that. So let's get our base folded. And then let me get the bone folder so that we can make this crease pretty tight there. So now we have our base out of the way. And then I'm going to use this piece of Whisper White cardstock on the inside. So let me go ahead and put that away in the inside. Now if you were putting some kind of a sentiment or on the inside, you would want to stamp on this before you put it down, just so that if you happen to mess up with stamping, you wouldn't ruin your base. But you also have the opportunity to flip that piece over and stamp on the back side as well. And so we have a Night of Navy matte, which most of the time when you see mattes like this that have that particular width from the base, it's always going to be 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. So we have that down. And then we have these pieces that are left, and there is a little, what's the word? You have to do these in certain steps in order to get that ribbon to wrap around that piece of designer series paper. And sometimes that's real easy to forget. So I'm going to do that now before I forget. And what I'm going to do is I've got this scallop linen trim that coordinates with the cardstock, and it's Seaside Spray. It's really pretty. It's got a scalloped edge on both sides and like a burlap kind of piece in the middle that you can see on the back as well. So I'm just going to cut a piece that's a little bit wider than that card, this designer series paper, and then I'm going to do it sideways. So you want to get some adhesive on the back as close to the edge in the middle as you can, because, oh, you know what? I cut this the wrong way. I meant to do this long ways. Well, at least I have a piece now that's ready if I'm doing it portrait, so let's do that. But you want a piece that's long enough so that when you stretch it over the center, it will fold over on both sides. So we're just gonna fold that over, and then you don't want to pull it too tight that it starts pulling your paper. So you just want to kind of pull it straight but not terribly tight, and then fold it over. And when you fold over your ribbon, you want to make sure it catches on to the adhesive. And then now that I have that on there, I can actually finish putting adhesive around the rest of the designer series paper. Did I miss a step? There we go. I think I missed one over here too. There we go. And then this card is going to be landscape, which just means it opens this way. And then let's center this piece of designer series paper, and you always want to hover it just to make sure that you're allowing a 1/4 inch all the way around. And then once you have it into position, you can press down on it to get that seal with the paper. And then I've gone ahead and die cut these two pieces, this Seaside Spray and this Whisper White. And with this particular, with these cards, I decided to bring back this Stitch So Sweetly dies, which is a really, really versatile die set. So that's what I'm using on this particular card, and then one of the other cards as well. So let me get, I've already mounted Thank You. So I'm going to ink up Thank You with my Night of Navy. I have open off to the side, and we're just tapping. I think on maybe one of my other cards I tapped a little too hard, but I don't know if you can tell, but there's some ink on the part of the stamp that doesn't really need ink. And with these particular stamps and our stamp pads, you have to be careful with that. And I'm going to show you why. I'm not going to stamp on that, but I'm going to stamp over here. When there is ink on anything other than the part that needs ink, and you go to press down, if you press down too hard, and I don't know if you can see that, but the outline, there's the ink outline here, here, and here, and then right there. That ink will transfer to your paper. Now, if you are one that pushes down and you like to rock it like that, then definitely you're going to get multiple little images there, and you're going to get all of that ink on whatever you're stamping. So that's why when you're watching a video, we're like, just tap, 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 tap. And then you can tell if you've got ink all the way on your other side. And then I'm going to go ahead, even though I have ink, I'm not going to press down too terribly hard, because that's what you want. You want a clean image. You don't want your image to be like that and the ink around your stamp to show up. So let's do that. Now this particular piece that I stamped, I am going to just put some seal on the back, and I'm going to center this in the middle of the Seaside Spray one. But on the Seaside Spray, I'm going to add some dimensionals on the back because I want this piece to pop up. Oops, I need to cut some more. Give me a minute, I need to cut some more of these. I have used almost an entire sheet of dimensionals, and I'll just want to let you know, whenever you're finished with all of the big ones, make sure you use the sides. This whole sheet is actually one large dimensional, so you can use what looks like scraps as well. And then just make sure you peel off the little backings, and it'll expose that adhesive underneath. And then we are going to just straddle this over the center. Now, depending on the sentiment that you're using, you can also make this a portrait card where it opens this way as well. But I wanted this to be landscape. And the only other thing that I did on here, I'm using my Take Your Pick tool, is because I have a lot of these little rhinestone basic jewels. I have a lot of these little bitty ones. So what I'm doing is just picking some of these up with the little adhesive end, and I'm going to put some just randomly in the center of some of these little flowers, just to give it a little extra bling here and there. Nothing, just random. There we go. So there you go. There is card number 1. That's the one that I made. And then this is the one that we just made. Wanted to dress it up just a little bit with some ribbon off the side. And then you have some scallop dies and just a simple message of thank you. So there's card number 1. And then card number 2, we're going to be doing this one. The paper is gorgeous, Marianne. Some of those flowers on there are even large enough to where you could cut them out. So let me grab the supplies for that one. Which, if you've noticed, I've used one of the dies, and these is both the same size, but we're going to end up matting one underneath the other. So our base is Whisper White, which anything that had Whisper White in the product name is what's going to be discontinued. So it's not just the paper or the cardstock It's the regular cardstock, it's the thick cardstock, it's envelopes, note cards, and here is the Rococo Rose base. And I seem to have lost my adhesive. I literally, you guys, have lost my adhesive. Oh no, there it is. I put the third card over it, so it got covered up. It is a real struggle, you guys. When you think you've got everything right here in front of you, and, oh, you know what? I can't put that down yet. And I just put adhesive on that, so hold on. That's why you got to do things in certain orders. I'm going to put this down on the silicone mat because I just put adhesive on there and just realized that I really needed to put my piece of designer series paper on there because of the way I have that ribbon wrapped around before it goes down. So, and this piece of designer series paper is 3 3/4 by 3 1/2. So we're not doing the typical measurement that takes it all the way down to this paper. Let me bring this up just a little bit. And the reason why I put that on there is because the silicone mat, the adhesive does not stick to it. So I could press down on it and it's not going to stick to it. So this is the perfect little complement to have with whatever craft that you do. And then let's put the ribbon on that one, which this is the one that coordinates with the cardstock, the Rococo Rose. It's also available in the other 3 in colors as well. And I got it right here. There's the terracotta tile. That one's a pretty color as well. There is, which one's this one? Purple Posy. Purple Posy. And then Pretty Peacock. So this particular ribbon is available in all 5 of the in colors. Okay, and I know I have adhesive on the back, but I'm going to put a little bit more right here to make sure that ribbon catches. And then we're going to straddle that piece of ribbon right where that designer series paper meets the cardstock. Pull it tight and fold it over. I'm going to put a little bit on top of that. And then now we can attach this to our base. Okay. Got some adhesive on there. Now let's go ahead and stamp on these 2 pieces right here, which I am using Wish I Could Heal Your Heart. I'm just going to tap, tap, tap off to the side. And then stamp that, give it just a little pressure, and then bring it straight back up. And then in order to get that particular mat, this piece of Rococo Rose, to mat behind this piece of Whisper White, because they're basically both the same size, all you have to do is your second piece. You just take that one and you can use your paper trimmer, or if you have a pretty steady hand, you can use your paper snips. And let me bring this back just in case. But I'm going to put adhesive just on the bottom and on the top. I got some extra there. And I'm right-handed, so I have to do this with this piece in my right hand. You just put this back behind, kind of center it a little bit, figure out how much matte you want it to show, and then do the same thing for the opposite side. Okay, and now you have this piece that's matted. And then we're going to add some dimensionals, and I'm going to add dimensionals on the top and on the bottom. Because we're going to straddle this piece of ribbon that's on the card. And we want it to stick to the paper, not to the ribbon. So you've got those. And then I also have a bunch of these little frosted and clear epoxy droplets that I want to use up. These are the frosted ones. I don't know if you can see the difference, but the frosted ones have like a kind of a dull shine about them because they're frosted. And then you've got these clear ones. Trying to get it in the light, there we go, that have a little bit more shine to them. You could use either one of them on here, and all I did was I used a couple of the big ones and just put one on each side, and then some of the smaller ones I'm just going to randomly put in the center of the flowers on the designer series paper. You can do all of them, or you can just randomly do however many you want. If you want to use them all up, you can definitely put more of them on there. And there's card number 2. Yes, the paper has so many colors in it. We are talking about, let's see, I'm going to look in the back. Because remember, you guys, whenever you get any of our designer series paper, on the back where it has the name of the designer series paper, you're going to see the colors that it coordinates with. So this free paper coordinates with Night of Navy, Old Olive, Petal Pink, Rococo Rose, Seaside Spray, Soft Sea Foam, and Whisper White. But this is a pack of designer series paper that you can get for free as well during Sale-a-Bration. So there you go. And there's no limit during Sale-a-Bration. There's no limit to what you can get for free. But as you get closer to the end of Sale-a-Bration, things do become limited as far as quantities are concerned. Okay, so here we go. This is card number 3. This is the same piece of designer series paper. It's just this is the front and this is the back. So let's do that one. In our base, we're going to use a Night of Navy base. So let me get that straight. I love Night of Navy. But unfortunately with Night of Navy, if you stamp something on the inside, you couldn't really see it unless you did some embossing or did it in some Whisper White craft ink. So we have our Whisper White base that's going to go on the inside. And just remember, if you wanted to stamp something or write something and you didn't want to risk messing up, just make sure you do all of that before you add adhesive and put it down on the inside of your card. Okay, so there's that. And then remember I said it's the same piece of designer series paper. This is the front and then that's the back. So I had cut 2 sheets, one for the mat and one for the smaller little mat. And we're going to go ahead and put this one down. All of our designer series paper has 2 sides to it. And oh my gosh, sometimes it is so hard. If you're a demonstrator and you're watching, it is a real struggle, you guys, when it comes to trying to decide what side we're going to use. What side are we going to use? And you don't want to cut it up. It's tough. Okay, so all we're doing is I cut 2 pieces out. I cut this little piece out, which would have been a 3 by, looks like 3 by 4 1/4 maybe, but then it's also die cut down. And then this little piece right here that is probably 3 3/4 by 2 1/2, and it's been die cut down using the smaller scallop. So we're going to put this piece directly down onto it, and then we're going to use some dimensionals to pop this up. And let me cut this last one. Oh, I'm going to need more dimensionals. I thought I would have enough with this sheet here, but I'm not. I'm going to need a couple of more, but I'll get them when I need them. Take those backings off, and we're going to be centering this matted piece just in the center. Okay. And then I cut 2 pieces of this little rectangular stitched die out in case I mess up, because that's the one where we're going to be stamping. We're in this together. Let's get that, and let's all hold our breaths while I stamp this and hope that it stamps. It's stamped okay, but let me see if I can get it a little bit better. Nobody breathe. Nobody breathe while I stamp this. I'm going to try to stamp this a little bit. Let's see. Uh-oh, I got ink. See, we'll just use that one. Because, see, I had ink around the edge, and I didn't clean that. But had I cleaned it, that probably wouldn't have happened. But, oh well. We'll continue to use this one. Now let me get some more dimensionals. I'll use my small ones. So our dimensionals are available in 2 different colors and 2 different sizes. Now the white ones, there's a package of the mini ones, and then there's also a package of the larger ones. But you have to get those separate if you want 2 different sizes. But if you purchase them in black, then the black package has both sizes in them, which I don't know why, but they just do. Okay, and let me see, where did I do with, there we go. I was looking for the rest of my epoxy droplets. So let's get some of these larger ones. I'm going to put a larger one on that large flower. And I guess it all depends on how you cut the designer series paper, because on the sample that I did, I had 2 other flowers, so I put 2 other ones on there. But on this particular piece that was cut, there was only 1 flower, so I'm only going to put 1. So yeah, I guess it all depends on how you cut it. Will depend on how many little accessories you have to put on afterwards. So there you go. There is card number 3. So there's card number 3. Now don't forget, if you like, comment, and share. That's how you get entered, and then the drawing for these cards will be done next Sunday, the opening of the video. And I'm sorry, but I haven't been looking at the comments since I was doing the demonstration, but yes, thank you, Denise. Thank you. Don't forget, these, the stamp set, starting January 5th is when Sale-a-Bration starts, but the stamp set you could earn for free if your purchase is at least $50. That's not counting tax or shipping. And then the designer series paper, you can get a whole pack. It's a 12 by 12 pack. Hi, Dorothy. You can get a whole 12 by 12 pack that's got 12 sheets. There's 2 designs 2 sheets of each design. You could also get the designer series paper for free as well. And I will be doing a complete, I want to say unboxing, but I guess revealing on January 5th. I don't even know what day that is, but I'm going to make it happen, where I will be showcasing all of the free items that you can get during Sale-a-Bration, as well as some of the new items in the new mini catalog. So let's get this pointed back. There we go. So I hope you all enjoyed the cards for today. That is what I'm here for every single Sunday afternoon. I'm going to show you how to use the Stampin' Up! Products for not just cards, but also projects and other home decor type things, which is what that sampler was. That's a home decor. And I only do the samplers 4 times a year. Summer, spring, winter, and fall. I would love to be able to do one every month, but these are a lot of work. And there's already so many other events on my calendar. So, but I do thank you all for joining me this Sunday afternoon. Wherever you are, I hope you have enjoyed it. I felt that cough coming on, because the whole time I was on, excuse me, I didn't have any of my Whataburger sweet tea. Oh, y'all know me, I like my Whataburger sweet tea. But continue to enjoy the rest of your Sunday afternoons. That squirrel is out there again. That baby squirrel has literally been burying all kinds of things right here on this side of the yard. And he's so stinking cute, because I watched him dig his little hole and put whatever he had in his mouth and stuck it in the ground, and he's patting on it, and then he's looking around, I guess, to make sure nobody else is watching him, and where he's storing his food for the winter. So but lots of little critters out there that I enjoy looking at while I'm scrapbooking or making cards during the daytime. So, but I did want to say too that come the beginning of the first of the year, I'm going to be adding in another Facebook Live. This is something I've been working on already for some time, but it's going to be another Facebook Live that's going to be midweek, and most likely it's going to be on a Wednesday morning. But that particular Facebook Live is going to be designed for 12 by 12 layouts. So I'm going to add layouts, because it's been something I've been wanting to do for a while, but just recently re-inspired myself. So if you scrapbook and you want to learn how to do some 12 by 12 page layouts with some Stampin' Up! Products, then you'll want to join me. Once I get that date firmed up and the time firmed up, then I'll publish it. But that's not going to be till after the first of the year, because I'm in the middle of designing some layout pages right now to get me through the first month, to give myself a head start. And several of them so far are going to be with the new products. So it's very, very exciting. January 5th of each year is always an exciting time in Stampin' Up! Because that means the new catalog is going to be open and ready for customers to order from as well. As demonstrators, we have been ordering and playing with this stuff already for a month, and are just itching to be able to show you guys the inside of that catalog. So if you're not fortunate enough to have one of those catalogs and you need one, just private message me and let me know, and then I can get a catalog out to you. But other than that, I will see you guys next Sunday at 3 p.m. and enjoy the rest of your Sunday afternoons. Be blessed. Make sure you wash your hands and continue to practice safe social distancing. All right, we will see y'all next week. Bye-bye.